to Allen Hilliard Sports. This is our fall preview edition of the show here. And you know what? This will go out to members only right now. So, if you are a member, you will get this nice and early. But this will be coming out on, we'll say, Saturday or Sunday. But anyways, if this is Saturday or Sunday, thank you for listening. But we want to thank everyone for watching our broadcast again, and thank Missouri Sports Network for all of their help with other interviews that we have on this docket. First, we're going to start off with the Waynesville football interview, and we'll be back after that with some more interviews.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
Go, Waynesville, go! It's up here wide open, and an easy score.
This is Allen Hilliard Sports, and we are with Coach Barkley here, the Waynesville Tigers. And once again, Coach, it is football season.
You know, Alan, every time I get those phone calls to try to set up some interviews, I know it's getting close. And once August hits, it's here, and we're ready to go.
And coming up, Friday, the Jamboree, you got, continue the rivalry with Rolla there. Not the same rivalry, I guess, but playing them, Capital City, and Union again.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different. Used to seeing Rolla during the regular season, but due to some conference realignment, that's no longer available. I believe Cap City is not going to be there this year, and Battle took their place. So it looks like we'll go Union, Battle, and then Rolla for the Jamboree.
Alrighty then, got that one wrong. I believe it's been the other way for several years now. But either way on that. Looking ahead this year, just kind of seeing what move-ins have you got, kind of what seniors have or juniors have moved up to seniors, and, what are some of the maybe key players that you're looking at or key, positions that may be strong this year?
We had 12 guys returning that were starters for us last year. We got 7 on offense and 5 on defense. On the offensive side, we got 3 returning letter winners on the O-line. We got our running back, Michael Kelsey Jr. back. We got quite a bit coming back. Defensively, we got at least one person on each level, D-line, linebackers, and DBs. So, we do got a lot of guys filling the pieces in. We got a lot of competition going on. And it's been a great start to the August, and even during the summer was fun just watching them compete. As far as seniors, we got the highest that I've been a part of. We got 30 seniors signed up right now. So that's a good thing. But some of them are new to the program, new to the school district. Some of them are other sport athletes. And we're gonna lean pretty heavy on them to lead us this year.
All right, and then looking at mentioning conference realignment here, you played a few of those teams last year. You had quite a few games that were very close, including one with the Ozark Tigers. But you start the season with the, I believe you are at home, aren't you, to start the season?
Yeah, first game's at home on the 30th versus Carthage. We got the teams that we played last year that we'll play this year will be Lebanon, Ozark, like you said, and then we'll have Glendale and Kickapoo that are also. But, that's 4 out of the 9 that we'll have. We'll have some new teams and joining the COC and crossing over with the West Side. There's going to be a lot of challenges this year.
It can almost be called the Tiger Conference because your first at least 2 games are against the Tigers to start out. Your first road game in Republic.
Yeah,
I believe Waynesville has not played them in, as far as I can remember, they have not played them in a long time.
Yeah, I don't know the exact date on that. But they're a Class 5 state runner-up last year. Very, very, very good team, and even though they lost a lot, they're gonna be pretty. They'll fill in the gaps, and success breeds, and they'll still be pretty good.
Some of the other programs you'll face, a strong Nixa team. Now, not on your schedule, Webb City or Joplin. However, Joplin could become on your schedule here, depending on where the districts fall.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how the realignment and the crossover games and all that stuff work, but once we get to the first week and see where we're at district-wise, see if any other schools bumped up to Class 6. We're kind of in that swing area where we could stay in that Springfield, Ozark, Nixa area, or we could go to the St. Louis side. So time will tell on that. We'll prepare as needed.
Now in 6A, I'm not sure if it's better to go to St. Louis to see a CBC or to see a Joplin on the other end of things.
Well, down in this area, you got to be prepared for everything, and no games once you get to that level are real easy. So it'll be a challenge, but there's a lot of football between now and then to be played.
All right, so looking ahead for past the Jamboree here to the first week here, what can fans kind of expect a little different this year? Or is things going to be kind of similar to last year?
There's some wrinkles that we've added both offensively and defensively. Obviously, not being able to put it against varsity teams yet. We put it into practice and some other things, but we got to kind of see what works, what doesn't work. Once we do some things in the Jamboree, see what it looks like. So a lot of things we definitely got our bread and butter as far as the run game, and we're going to have to build off that. And defensively, we're just trying to teach them to fly around, make tackles, and you never know what can happen if you run around and do that.
All right, and then looking at some of the other changes here, any more, changes, with the games or anything like that going on that of this year?
As far as I know, it's pretty set in stone, and hopefully next year will be the same. And every 2 years, you never know what can happen, so we'll see. But we'll take it game by game, week by week, and year by year.
So we're expecting a cat fight for week 1 and 2, I guess.
All the time, every time, baby.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot, and we will talk to you after the Jamboree.
See you, Allen.
All right.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
Go, Angel, go! Goes out there wide open, and an easy score.
CSZ Excavating. Contact William Alexander at 573-308-7635 for all your excavating, dirt moving needs, whatever it may be. Give him a call. He's a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Dixon Bulldogs. The Bank of Crocker since 1911 has been a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports this year and the Waynesville Football Tigers. They have multiple locations. They've been around since 1911 in Crocker, Missouri. Member FDIC. Give them a call for all your banking needs and other questions you may have.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
The Dixon School District is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and their coverage of Dixon Bulldogs sports, including baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, and more. Be sure to give them a call for your educational needs, and if you have any questions.
Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey there, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage, and that's always brought to you by the Bank of Billings, established 1889, the oldest bank in Christian County. Also presented by Liuna Labor's Local 663, who reminds us, drive safely in those work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. As we continue our fall sports preview, we go to Fatima High School and bring in Fatima head softball coach Ashley Sneeders. And Coach, 9 months ago, you won the state championship. How's that? That food still tastes good, and all the Cokes are colder.
I would say everything still tastes good. You always remember that. We've been very fortunate with our girls, and we've had two, so they love how it tastes, so to speak. But we're ready. We're chomping at the bit to get going this season.
35-4 a year ago, and as I mentioned, the Class 3 state champions. Tell us a little bit about what you've got to replace, because of graduation. And some of those young ladies are going to have to step in and fill those roles.
Yeah, so, last year we had 7 seniors, and many of them were key players for us. Luckily for us, we have 7 seniors this year as well. So we've got girls that have been around our program who understand how it's supposed to work, what we expect from them. And they really have embraced our culture here of, trying to get better every day, stepping in when we need to step in. And that's really a key for us this season is who's going to be able to step in and play some positions that maybe they don't want to play. Maybe they're not used to playing. Or maybe, something that we just need, and that's your way into the lineup. So we've had our summer this year. We've had a lot of girls step up. And so we're excited to see what they're going to do during the season because that's exactly what we need from them.
What's the summer been like? What did the Comets do over the summer? How long? How many days? I mean, I know you've only got so many contact days, but what have the Comets been doing over the summer?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of girls that play on very competitive travel ball teams. So getting the entire team together all summer long is really difficult for us. One thing that we've been doing since I've been a coach here is we do workouts at a local gym here just to get them together as much as possible. Typically in the mornings, nobody has softball games. So it's a way for us to get the girls together and get that, that teamwork, that team bonding, I guess if you want to call it that, started. In regards to play, I would say that a majority of us here in Central Missouri have been rained out or have had girls traveling. We don't have enough girls. So we've had a little bit of that this summer. But when we do play, we make sure that we get, all age groups in so that they understand that, anybody can step up. Anybody can play a position, whether you're a freshman or a senior. We're not looking at how old you are. We're looking at your ability and your leadership ability. So we've seen a lot of good things. We've seen a lot of good things coming up and a lot of good things from these seniors this summer.
As you look at last year's schedule compared to this year, I know a lot of times when teams win a state title and have had as much success as you have had, sometimes it's difficult a little bit to schedule games. Talk about your schedule, and has it changed very much from a year ago?
Really, it hasn't changed too terribly much. We've switched around a tournament here or there. We are no longer in our conference. Our conference has kind of disbanded, with football and whatnot, and our school doesn't have it. We've decided that the Fatima School District is not going to be in the same conference anymore. So we don't have those conference games like we did. So that's really only our change. We've added some really good schools. My girls know that the way we run our schedule is to be better every day. The goal is always to win, but we have to learn throughout the season, and we have to play these great teams in order to find spots that we need to work on to get to the end of the season.
Are you kind of planning on being Class 3 again, or is there any chance you'll go up or down?
Honestly, everybody talks about, you might be Class 2, you might be Class 3. We don't know. We're not planning our schedule to go down a class. We're planning a schedule to stay right where we are, to compete right where we are. And you know what? If it happens to be where we're playing more, 4A, 5A schools, then that's what it's going to be. But I honestly don't know the 100% answer right now. I think it's a possibility we could move a class, but I'm not for sure.
Jamboree on the 23rd. Where is it and who's involved?
So right now it's in Jefferson City. We have not gotten our schedule quite yet. We just got it confirmed. So it's where Jeff City plays. Typically it's Helias, us, Cap City, Jeff City. as far as I know, that's very similar to what it is. Again, I don't have the full schedule, so I can't necessarily speak 100% to who's going to be there.
And we're visiting, and it is Dead Week. And again, we're visiting with the Fatima head softball coach and defending Class 3 state champions, Ashley Sneeders. And Dead Week, I've talked to coaches all week long from football, volleyball, softball, and some are in Mexico or some are in Cancun. They're taking their vacation. Some of them are athletic directors, so they're contracted time right now. How do you spend your Dead Week? And you get an opportunity to maybe take a vacation?
Honestly, at my point in my life and my career, we're pretty busy. I've got 2 small children, one on the way. We're very busy we just bought a new house. So this is my vacation, but not really. I've spent a lot of time on the phone with my assistant coaches, with my athletic director, just kind of try to piece together what we need to be ready to start on Monday.
Well, outstanding. Well, Coach, again, thank you so much for being generous with your time, and hopefully at some point during the season I can get you and some of your ball players on the Missouri Sports Network as part of our Team of the Week.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take
Dan Johnson Insurance, just down the road from the high school on the main street, is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and has been for several years. Give her a call for all your insurance needs, quotes, whether it be cars, vehicles, you name it, she can insure it. Post Pawn Shop has been a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports for many years and is a proud supporter of the Frisco League basketball tournament, as well as other area sports teams including Crocker and Waynesville. Stop by, visit Dan for all your pawn shop needs, whether it be music or hunting needs. Dan can help you at Post Pawn Shop. Security Bank of Pulaski County has been a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports for many years now, including supporting in all the sports, including the Waynesville Tigers and Frisco League area schools, as well as some other events that we have done. Be sure to stop and give them a call if you happen to need some banking needs. They are a member FDIC and a proud supporter of the area community. Once again, thank you, Security Bank of Pulaski County. Show Me Candies and More is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Frisco League basketball tournament, as well as other things. Be sure to check them out on Facebook, as they provide all kinds of sweet treats for you there. Again, thank you for your support from Allen Hilliard Sports. Check out Show Me Candies.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
Go, Waynesville, go! Goes out there wide open, and an easy score.
We are back here, Allen Hilliard Sports again, for another exciting interview. This time we got the Coach Malbach from the Waynesville Lady Tigers softball team here. Coach, you have some new friends to play with this year.
We do. We had quite a few freshmen come up that we're really excited about and ready for them to develop in our JV and potentially step into the varsity playing field this year.
Now, looking ahead, last year, a fairly successful season. You had some pretty good competition, but overall, improved on the program, and even kind of the JV levels improved through that. And are you expecting to see those kind of improvements work their way up the chain?
Absolutely. Last year we broke our own personal record. We had 16 wins last year for the season. Lost in the district game. The only difference this year is we're going to be in a tougher conference going down south. But, we're planning now and preparing to compete. That's all we can ask for.
All right. Now, looking at the coming up, especially the Jamboree, you have Rolla and I believe Cuba coming into that. So
we do.
Rolla, an opponent you know very well. Cuba, probably not quite as much, but...
Yeah, I don't know anything about Cuba. Rolla, Coach and I, we talk often, and we, we're going to come compete against Rolla. Hopefully come home with a good, strong 4 innings in the Jamboree. And again, against Cuba, we just want to come out and compete. We want to leave everybody with the lasting impression that Waynesville's gotten better, and Waynesville's ready.
Now, facilities here, obviously, some of the nicest. I mean, you could hold a state tournament here almost with the facilities at
Absolutely.
this place.
Absolutely. We have, we've traveled up to St. Louis. We've traveled as far as Springfield and beyond, and there's not a complex that is better than ours.
Yep, I think the only thing you're missing is, several hundred more bleachers, essentially. And, I mean, this is as nice as most of the college stadiums.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, we are very fortunate with what we have. Ready to put it to good use this year.
So kind of looking from some of the returning juniors coming into their senior year or sophomores, do you have any standouts that, coming up from last year that should be, filling some of those gaps that left?
Not filling any gaps senior-wise. I've got Giselle Perez, who has been a 4-year starting varsity player for us. She is a powerhouse offensively, returns back out at first base. Last year she played a little bit of outfield for us, but her main primary defensive spot's at first base. I've got Camden Rains, who's working in towards an outfield position, but she's also pretty strong on the base paths for us too. Juniors, we've got a large junior class. We had a move-in this year that'll also see some split time on the mound this year in the circle with Reagan Grossminer. We are stacked 4 pitchers deep at the varsity level, all which keep us competitive.
Now it's something, especially the COC that you're joining is an important part of it, as, quite a few games playing, sometimes several in 1 week there. Mm-hmm. And really pitching, give you an option just to kind of rotate in a few of those pitchers.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We've got pitchers throwing, 55, 56. We've got pitchers throwing 50s. We've got pitchers throwing 48s. It just really depends, and with a lot of movement on each one. Like I said, we've got the skill set in the circle to compete, which we're really excited about. We've not had this depth in pitching before. At least in my 7 years.
Now, recently they started softball in the middle school level. Has that contributed to some of these freshmen and sophomores as they've moved their way up from the middle school level? Have you found a few of them that have?
Oh, absolutely. We have 5 freshmen that will play for us, and they've all but one has played at the varsity level. All played for our middle school program, and we had one transfer in. But they all have made gains and improvements, so it is very promising within our middle school program.
And not many people remember that softball has not been around that long, this version of the softball program. It kind of disappeared for about 25 years, and it came back around 2006, 2007 from playing there by the community center, and really turned into one of the top programs in the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing with being in a high military area, we are very transient. We are unfortunate in the sense that we don't have the facilities that your bigger cities, St. Louis and Springfield, do as far as training facilities with instruction. And so having a middle school program has really brought that into it, as well as our youth league that we have here in the summer in Waynesville as well.
Okay. Now looking at some of the stuff here, the radio coverage has disappeared, but all the home games will be on Allen Hilliard Sports to replace those. So that way you'll have video, and most of the time you'll have play-by-play, I imagine.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take anything we can get. I've got a great group of girls. They've worked hard in the off-season. They're working hard in season, this preseason. And we're just ready to get to work, finish, and show them what we can do.
All right, Coach, appreciate it, and good luck this season. We will see you. We'll be live at 4:30, I've been told, on Thursday.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
Go, Waynesville, go! Goes out there wide open, and an easy score.
Allen Hilliard Sports will provide Waynesville youth football and cheer with all live coverage of their home games this year. They have kids ranging from kindergarten all the way to 6th grade. Allen Sports has been around for many years, helping to promote football safely and prepare the kids for football in middle school. Be sure to visit Allen Hilliard Sports as we bring live coverage of, again, youth football every Saturday. The Dixon School District is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and all Dixon athletics that are broadcast and not broadcast. Be sure to support the Dixon Booster Club. Check them out on Facebook if you'd like to become a member.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 290,000 participants here in Missouri who take part in high school sports or activities.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Presented by Launa Labor's Local 663, building Missouri and reminding us to drive safely in work zones. Those folks want to go home as well. As we continue our tour around the state, talking high school football, we bring in Nixa Eagles head football coach John Perry. Coach Perry, thanks for your time.
Man, thank you for having me on.
Coach, perfect regular season a year ago, COC champions, kind of put a bow on last year and what you're going to have to replace due to graduation coming into the 2024 season.
Well, you know, like you said, we had a really good regular season, and then we got into the playoffs and won district and then got beat by Rockhurst. At the end of the day, we've got to win 5 games at the end of the season to have a chance to win a Class 6 state championship. And, what I want to do, hopefully, this year is make sure we're preparing ourselves with the end in mind. Last year I thought we had a great season, but we did not play great at the end of the year. Like that last ball game, Rockhurst was really good, really well coached, great football, team. But I just didn't feel like we played the best that we could play that night, and that's on me. We had a really good football team last year. We lost some really good players. When you lose Spencer Ward, Jaden Antonelli, we lost some really quality football players, but we have a ton coming back. The offensive line should be as good as there is, in anywhere in the United States, I would think. I mean, honestly, how many folks have a Jackson Cantwell or a Jacob Lyle or an Oakley? We just have a ton of offensive linemen. We're going to be breaking in a new quarterback. He's going to be a sophomore, but he's a very, very special talent that may take some bumps and bruises early, but I think is going to be a big-time difference maker. That's Adam McKnight. Our running back's back. We had 2 last year because we had 1 transfer in, but Dylan Rivera's back and should have a fantastic year behind that offensive line. Got some quality wide receivers back with Wyatt Vincent, who's one of the fastest kids in Southwest Missouri. Kevon Flint will be a fantastic receiver for us. We got a lot of quality guys back, so offensively we should be really good. Defensively, we'll be led by Parker Mann, who had 130-something tackles last year. He'll kind of step into the shoes of Spencer Ward. He is a fantastic football player. We've got a couple of new kids out. Our corners were young last year, but with Randy Flint and McCoy Sullivan, we're going to have some quality corners that we think can go out there and, do a really good job. Defensive line's gotten better. I just think we're going to have a chance to have a special year. Now, a lot of folks could probably say that, but, we do feel really good about the team that we're going to have, and we've had a great offseason. We've had a great summer. We're just looking forward to fall camp.
As you look at just the summer, you talk about it being a fantastic summer. Have the numbers been good, and kind of what's been the protocol?
Yeah, it's been great. We probably have about 80 or 85 on the high school team. We have another 50 on the 9th grade team. We've got great numbers. We've got, some depth that can help us, down the stretch, and hopefully we can play a lot of guys early. But our summertime is fantastic, man. We have great kids. They all show up all the time. You know, like we don't have to worry about the work part, man. They show up and put the work in, and you know, I think that speaks volumes to the type of kids we have.
As with the changing of the conference, with the Ozark Conference kind of going away and the COC kind of absorbing some of those teams, what's the schedule like for the Nix Eagles?
Well, whoever did the scheduling was definitely not in favor of us. If you pull it up and look at it, I mean, we start off with the 6 toughest folks in the conference right off the bat. I don't really know them all. Like, I really don't even know all the teams in our conference with the realignment. I don't even know how many teams are in our conference, but I know we start with Republic, you know, and then we have Webb. And then on the front end of that, I know they're, you know, our Joplin, Carthage, Lebanon, like our schedule is front end loaded, which it really doesn't matter to us. I mean, we got to win. We got to go 5-0 on the last half of the season. So, you know, we're just looking forward to that first game. It's Republic, which, as you know, has turned into a big rivalry game for us, man. What a great way to start the season off with having Republic coming here to our stadium.
As you look ahead, Coach, what are you doing between now and the first time you get to put the pads on for real?
Well, right now we're still practicing a little bit. We still got some contact days to get in. We're actually shuffling some folks around, trying some new positions, just making sure that we've got our guys in the best place possible for us. And then they'll get a week off before fall camp starts, hopefully to get away from football, get away from school, and, you know, be a kid for a week, and then fall camp will start. And, you know, we're just excited, man. Fall camp is kind of like Christmas, right? It's an exciting time for football coaches and football players.
And, you know, one thing you want to try and make sure is you stay healthy, you know, throughout the summer. Are you guys healthy?
Yeah, we have been. We've been very fortunate that, you know, we got everybody that we started with. We do a lot in the weight room and in our conditioning program that we think helps us, you know, stay healthy. And sometimes that's just a matter of luck, you know, just being lucky and not having guys stumbled upon or whatever. But, you know, we are healthy, and we hope to stay healthy through the rest of the summer and make it to fall camp 100%.
Outstanding. Well, Coach Perry, again, we're visiting with John Perry, the head football coach at Nixa. And, Coach, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time like you always are, and best of luck, and we'll talk to you throughout the season.
Allen Hilliard Sports would like to thank the Waynesville School District and all the people there for helping to provide with these broadcasts, providing the facilities and providing the opportunity to do these facilities and allowing us to be there. Once again, thank you from Allen Hilliard Sports. And be sure to support the Waynesville Athletic Booster Club. Aspire to be One is your local counseling service in Pulaski County. Check them out on Facebook. They are proud supporters of Allen Hilliard Sports. We do regret to inform you that former football coach Chris Lowe passed away this month in August. He was a former football coach and recently a coach at Reed Springs. We pray for his family. Team MSHSAA Soccer is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports. They have programs from elementary to high school. Give Coach Madrano a call or check him out on Facebook. Dog Patch in Dixon, Missouri is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports. They have breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, all the snacks you need, gas, whatever you need. Check out Dog Patch in Dixon, Missouri on Highway 28 and D Highway. All right, welcome here. This is the second preview we've done this year, and this is Waynesville Tiger Soccer. So we're here with head coach here. You want to introduce yourself and how many years you've been here?
Coach Thornburg. I've been coaching Waynesville High School soccer since 2008 as an assistant. Took over the program 2 years ago. This will be my third season as head coach with the program. So been a while, been a long time.
All right, Coach. And then last year you had a very good season there. Ended a little early in districts, but started out, I believe, took a while to get that first loss there, and really still had a good season to close out the year. And you know, going into districts down in, I believe it was Ozark and schools from that area. But what are you kind of looking for this year, since most of those schools are now in your new conference?
Yeah, so the team last year had a lot of experience. A lot of those guys have been playing 4 years on varsity, and so they were a really athletic group and pretty technical. So we could play at a really high level and compete with some of the best schools in the Southwest Missouri region. Tough draw in our district. We just had a lot of good teams, and any one of those teams could have easily won districts, and so unfortunately we got matched up against Kickapoo. We have yet to beat them as a program, so they're our Achilles heel apparently. So our new conference is really difficult. It's all those same schools plus Nixa, plus Carthage, Joplin, Neosho, Webb City. All those schools have really good, long traditions of winning, strong programs, technical players. I think we'll match up well. We'll be competitive. We'll be a vastly different looking team. I think we'll be really hardworking. We're not quite as big or as technical, but our fight as far as the program and how we play should put us in a real good spot to be competitive in all our games.
All right, and where do you start out the season? Where's the Jamboree this year?
Jamboree is in Washington, Missouri. I don't remember the exact date on that one. It seems to always change, and the last couple of years we haven't done it because of the heat. So hopefully we're able to get our Jamboree in this year. Our schedule, first part of the schedule of the year, our first game right now is scheduled against Poplar Bluff on September 12th, but it looks like there may be an opportunity to add a game before then too. So we're still working on some stuff. So adding a few more games before we kick off.
All right, and who are some of the returning players from last year that are going to make an impact, and who may be some of the new players that you're seeing here, maybe JV or some of the move-ins?
Yeah, so we got lots of returners. We got a fairly good senior group coming back. Right now, Say Fowler and Tristan Borner, two seniors that are going to be college-bound. Both are strong D1-looking recruits right now. Tristan Borner's in goal, standout in goal, one of the best goalies we've had in program history. Say Fowler, again, one of the best players technically that I've ever seen in our program's history. Both are incredible players that we'll kind of really build around. Fortunately, one being in goal will help us build out of the back defensively. The other one traditionally plays as a midfielder, and so he'll really kind of be the catalyst for organizing the team and helping us in transition, whether it's defensive or offensive transition. So both are really strong players. We've got, again, fairly large group of experienced players from last year. I expect lots of things from some of the juniors who were on the team that are moving up. Ace Long looks really good right now. He and Tristan Borner are both going to be kicking for the field goal team with Waynesville football program. But they both are leaders character-wise and physically. Like they look really good and look like they'll contribute. We have a new move-in by the name of Alex who looks really good right now. Another one. There's a lot of guys. I hate to single out any one, but there's a lot of guys that I'm excited about. Will Figueroa, who's been with us, and he'll be a senior. He's looking really strong right now. We got some juniors, Avery Paget, Caden Carter. They were with us last year. They're looking strong. They're really matured. I think they'll really help contribute to our overall success this season.
All right. And then looking ahead, I'm assuming you're probably going to be the Class 4 or 5 or whatever the highest class soccer is. And
yeah.
I don't know if they added a fifth one to that yet. They probably should one of these years, but
they're still filling out Class 1. We're Class 4 is our highest class, but yeah, we're toughest schools in the Southwest Missouri Conference. Our district is going to probably be identical to what it was last year, which was Nixa, Glendale, Kickapoo,
Ozark, I think.
Ozark won it last year. Glendale won it the year before, so all those schools are always competing. They're always in it for conference titles. So it's going to be a tough competitive season, but we're excited about what we have, and I fully expect us to have a successful year again.
All right. I appreciate it, Coach, and we will see you throughout. We do have a planned broadcast, a couple of them hopefully in the end of the year. I believe there's some plans to make that happen.
Awesome.
So
look forward to it. Thank you for your coverage.
Thank you. All right, bye.
The score of any athletic event is generally forgotten over time, but the actions of players, coaches, and spectators leave lasting impressions. The next time you attend a high school game, think of how history will remember you. Choose good sportsmanship and help rekindle the spirit of citizenship. Remember, the lessons you teach today will help develop better citizens in our communities for tomorrow. This message has been brought to you by your friends at the Missouri State High School Activities Association and this local radio station.
Allen Hilliard Sports would like to thank the Arena League and the Ozark Slunkers and the Kansas City Goats for all of their support this year and allowing me to do the broadcast for them. Those games can be found on the Arena League YouTube page for full broadcast And then highlights can be found on Allen Hilliard Sports.
It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Also presented by Liuna, Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri. And as always, they remind us to drive safely in work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Well, we welcome to the show Republic Tigers head football coach Ryan Cornelison. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Coach, a 12-3 season a year ago, all the way to the state championship game. Kind of put a bow on last season, if you would, and maybe talk about some of those folks that you're going to have to replace due to graduation. Coach, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I've got you now, Coach. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it was a great experience for our community, for our school, for our program. Just a lot of exciting games, a lot of great moments, throughout that season. And had a lot of really good players, that graduated, but it sure was fun to be a part of, and great experience for everyone that was involved with Republic football. Obviously, anytime you lose your quarterback, that's a major hit, and Wyatt Woods was as good as any around, if not the best around, and he's a tough one to replace, and it was just a great leader, great kid. But really, we graduate 18 starters, basically the entire backfield offensively. We lose. We've got two linemen back from a year ago on the offensive line, and that's it from an offensive standpoint. The defense, we've got a D tackle back and a middle linebacker, but we lost everybody in the secondary or they changed positions. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of inexperience, a lot of guys that we had Kendall Kerbo and Cole Gimlin were really good defensive players for us for 3 years. Cannon Kroll's our fullback. I go through the list of guys we lost. It's a lot. A lot of those guys played from sophomore year, so they've been 3-year starters, and so that's tough to replace. But we're excited for the challenge, and again, they got to see what it's like when you're successful, and hopefully that keeps them hungry going into the season.
What's the summer been like, and what have your numbers been like over the summer?
It's been good. Again, we're like anybody else. We got kids that are multi-sport athletes that we do, hit and miss with some of those guys on the other stuff they're doing. But I think we checked out a little over 100 in our 10th through 12th grade, and then about 45 freshmen. For the most part, the majority of those kids all show up unless they got some multi-sport stuff going on. So our numbers are good. That's about where we want them. And so kids have worked hard. Like I said, they're excited for their chance. That they've had some success at the JV and freshman level. Now it's their chance to step up and fill some spots. And it's a whole new look for us, just with our entire backfield offensively being new. So a lot of learning, a lot of growing this summer and trying to get better. But it's been exciting. They're working hard, and that's always good to see.
Between now and opening day of practice, what's your schedule like? Do you have many more days with them here in July?
Yeah, so we don't do any 7-on-7 or any team camp. So we take our 20 days, and it's basically practice. We'll some days we'll lift, some days we'll practice, but we see them every Monday through Thursday, whether we're lifting or practicing or both. So we still got some days left of practice. We don't do as much in June, just because basketball and baseball are so heavy in June. So we push some of ours to the back end of July or towards July. And so we still got some days left, and hopefully improvement we can make through July.
Now, with the new conference kind of affiliation or teams coming into the conference. It really hasn't changed your schedule much other than maybe Waynesville and Kickapoo.
Yeah, that's that. Obviously the conference was really tough, and you had Kickapoo and Glendale and some of those schools, Lebanon, obviously, just makes it that much tougher. It's going to be, it's always a dogfight in the COC, but that just added to it. So, great conference, great competition each week, and hopefully that makes for a lot of good football teams in the area.
With it being summer, a lot of folks on vacation. Did you get an opportunity to go on vacation, do anything special?
Yeah, we right after state track and prior to summer starting, there was a week there, and I've got two older kids. Both are in high school now, but we've got a 6-year-old. So we took her to Disney World, and stood in line for a while and did that whole deal. But so that was kind of our vacation this year, was taking the young one to the happiest place on earth.
You bet. Well, Coach, hey, again, congratulations on a tremendous season last year. That's behind us now. Good luck as you go forward, and thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet. Coach Ryan.
When you drive a Chevy, it's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Also presented by Liuna Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri. And as always, they remind us to drive safely in work zones. Those folks want to go home to their families as well. Well, we welcome to the show Republic Tigers head football coach Ryan Cornelison. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Coach, a 12-3 season a year ago, all the way to the state championship game. Kind of put a bow on last season, if you would, and maybe talk about some of those folks that you're going to have to replace due to graduation. Coach, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I've got you now, Coach. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, it was a great experience for our community, for our school, for our program. Just a lot of exciting games, a lot of great moments, throughout that season. And had a lot of really good players, that graduated, but it sure was fun to be a part of, and great experience for everyone that was involved with Republic football. Obviously, anytime you lose your quarterback, that's a major hit, and Wyatt Woods was as good as any around, if not the best around, and he's a tough one to replace, and it was just a great leader, great kid. But really, we graduate 18 starters, basically the entire backfield offensively. We lose. We've got 2 linemen back from a year ago on the offensive line, and that's it from an offensive standpoint. The defense, we've got a D tackle back and a middle linebacker, but we lost everybody in the secondary or they changed positions. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of new faces, a lot of inexperience, a lot of guys that we had Kendall Kerbo and Cole Gimlin were really good defensive players for us for 3 years. Cannon Kroll's our fullback. I go through the list of guys we lost. It's a lot. A lot of those guys played from sophomore year, so they've been 3-year starters, and so that's tough to replace. But we're excited for the challenge, and again, they got to see what it's like when you're successful, and hopefully that keeps them hungry going into the season.
What's the summer been like, and what have your numbers been like over the summer?
It's been good. Again, we're like anybody else. We got kids that are multi-sport athletes that we do, hit and miss with some of those guys on the other stuff they're doing. But I think we checked out a little over 100 in our 10th through 12th grade, and then about 45 freshmen. For the most part, the majority of those kids all show up unless they got some multi-sport stuff going on. So our numbers are good. That's about where we want them. And so kids have worked hard. Like I said, they're excited for their chance. That they've had some success at the JV and freshman level. Now it's their chance to step up and fill some spots. And it's a whole new look for us, just with our entire backfield offensively being new. So a lot of learning, a lot of growing this summer and trying to get better. But it's been exciting. They're working hard, and that's always good to see.
Between now and opening day of practice, what's your schedule like? Do you have many more days with them here in July?
Yeah, so we don't do any 7-on-7 or any team camp. So we take our 20 days, and it's basically practice. We'll some days we'll lift, some days we'll practice, but we see them every Monday through Thursday. Whether we're lifting or practicing or both, so we still got some days left of practice. We don't do as much in June, just because basketball and baseball are so heavy in June. So we push some of ours to the back end of July or towards July. And so we still got some days left and hopefully improvement we can make through July.
Now, with the new conference kind of affiliation or teams coming into the conference, it really hasn't changed your schedule much other than maybe Waynesville and Kickapoo?
Yeah, it. Obviously the conference was really tough, and you had Kickapoo and Glendale and some of those schools, Lebanon obviously, just makes it that much tougher. It's going to be, it's always a dogfight in the COC, but that just added to it. So, great conference, great competition each week, and hopefully that makes for a lot of good football teams in the area.
With it being summer, a lot of folks on vacation. Did you get an opportunity to go on vacation, do anything special?
Yeah, we right after state track and prior to summer starting, there was a week there, and I've got two older kids. Both are in high school now, but we've got a 6-year-old. So we took her to Disney World, and stood in line for a while and did that whole deal. But so that was kind of our vacation this year, was taking the young one to the happiest place on earth.
You bet. Well, Coach, again, congratulations on a tremendous season last year. That's behind us now. Good luck as you go forward, and thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Also, be sure to check out Allen Hilliard Sports on YouTube and on MSHSAA TV this year, as many of our broadcasts will be broadcast on both. Also, check us out on Facebook on Allen Hilliard Sports. Be sure to check out the Missouri Sports Network for all of your high school updates from across Missouri. Guy Newcomb doing that, and he also does a radio show on Friday nights. Keeps track of all the scores, interviews coaches. Check them out, MissouriSportsNetwork.com.
That's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank, they care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, understanding where it really matters. Member FDIC. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings with 2 locations, one in Billings and in Marionville as well, the oldest bank in Christian County. It's time for our Chevrolets of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And we bring to the show the Class II baseball state champion Iberia Rangers and head coach Tim Vinson. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Coach, kind of put a little bow on the season, so to speak. I mean, you finished 28-0. Talk about the season as you look back on it, some of the high points.
Yeah, it really was a special season. Get these guys. You're blessed to work with a great group of athletes that they're talented, but they're also fun to hang out with. They're fun to be around, and that says a lot about them.
Coming into this season, obviously a year ago, you lose in the quarterfinals to an Ash Grove team that kind of ran the table like you did this year, and they went undefeated. Coming into this season, what did you have to replace that you lost to graduation, and who maybe stepped up and filled some of those roles?
We lost our center fielder and we lost our first baseman, and they were big parts of our offense. We brought back a lot of our pitching, but those are some big bats that we had to replace. And defensively, we had to move some things around, but we adjusted and played well throughout the season.
As you look back just on your schedule this year, you had a few close games, but your ability to not give up runs this season. You only gave up a run and a half a game, so your ERA was outstanding. Talk about that pitching staff.
The pitching staff's been awesome. It's been phenomenal. That's what kept us in every ball game this year. And from 1 through 6, wherever they're at in our rotation, we know we got guys we can put up on the mound that are going to give us a chance. They're not going to score a lot of runs, and we just have to figure out offensively how we're going to push a couple across the plate. And once we get a couple, we feel pretty comfortable. And a lot of that credit goes to our assistant coach, Kyle Blankenship. He's our pitching guy. He does all the calling. We got a lot of trust in him, and our guys trust him with the pitches that he calls, and it just works out really well.
As you look at going into districts, talk about that district a little bit, and what were some of the challenges there? You had a couple of close games in that district, and then on into the sectionals and quarterfinals and the semis. Talk about that run in the playoffs.
It was a huge help to have it at home. We felt comfortable there. We got rain that pushed it around a little bit. We knew Hartville was probably better than what their record showed, and we knew we were going to be challenged. They're well coached. They had a lot of good athletes on their team. They had a really deep run in basketball. They had a really successful year in basketball. We knew they were going to be athletes. So we came out. We had to be prepared that game. I thought that was a big one we needed to get through. And then, on down through there, we had Vienna was in the district championship game. And the same thing, we knew that they had some athletes. They could swing the bat really well, and they were going to be well coached. And we couldn't take any pitch for granted, just one at a time all the way through. And then we went down for the sectional down to Bakersfield. It was a long drive and bus ride, and that was a concern when we got there. But they adjusted. They got off the bus ready to play. Got to swing the bat and move around a little bit before the game, and it ended up being a pretty close game, which we thought would be that way. Everybody had talked that they were a really good ball team. They were really athletic, and they were going to bring us a game, and they did. And then we went to Kalina and played them. They had some big bats in their lineup too that we kind of had to stay away from and make sure we focused spotted our locations for all of our pitches. And on through there, we had the first round against Tipton. They were a familiar opponent that we played earlier in the year, but we were fortunate enough to beat them early in the year, but it was at the end of March. So, we knew not to take them for granted. We knew how talented they were. We knew how well coached they were. And then we finished it up at the end with Maysville, and we watched them play a couple games, and we saw the way they swung the bat and the way they fielded the ball and the way they ran through. And we knew we had to come out with our best game, and I think we got down to the Final Four and played our 2 best games of the year, and it was really exciting. It was really, really fun time for all of us.
Outstanding. And you go in, you've got Tipton there. I actually called that game. And I know Tanner's alongside there, and he actually threw that game, Tanner Patterson. And Tanner, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. First off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being part, you and your teammates, your entire team, for being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you.
Tell us, you get the call. You're facing Tipton. Did you throw against them in the first time that you played them back in March?
Yes, I did.
What? And I've lost your audio here. Just hang on just a second. This is on my end, probably.
But anyway, again, we're visiting with Chevrolet of the Ozarks athletes.
Rangers. And we're visiting with Tanner Patterson, who got through that semifinal game. And what do? You know, how are you getting prepared, knowing that you're going to get the ball there on the 27th in that semifinal game? What are you doing throughout the day to kind of get mentally and physically prepared?
Most of the time I just think about where I'm going to be throwing, and I just look at the team and see where all their good hits are and make sure to listen to the coach and see what he's followed up on them and how he thinks they hit. And then I just really listen to where he says to hit spots at and what pitches to throw, and just really rely on to call the game.
Tell us a little bit. You strike out, I believe, 7 of the first 9 batters in the game. You're kind of cruising, and typically you get a lot of strikeouts, and that starts running your pitch count up. But tell us what was really working well for you in that game. I noticed you threw a lot of off-speed stuff, especially to the left-handed hitters. Was that a pitch you were comfortable with, and was that on purpose by design?
Yeah, typically with left-handed pitchers, coach likes to throw off speed to them because it cuts from like into them and out, and it just really works well with how I throw it. And most time they aren't able to hit it, and it just works really well.
Yeah. What were your thoughts? What are you thinking about in that semifinal game? You get to the 7th inning. You've got a 5-1 lead. You get a little buffer, get a couple runs there late, I believe, in the top of the 7th. What are you thinking when you take the mound and when that last out? What's going through your mind?
I'm just thinking about how we played the whole game, and just thinking about how we're going to get through the next game and what we need to change and get better on, and just help us out to play better and keep continuing on.
And then what was your role in the championship game against Maysville? Obviously, you weren't a pitcher, but where did you play, and what was your role in that game?
I played center field, and it was a pretty big deal out there. They had some pretty good hitters out there, so we had to control the outfield out there when they were hitting the ball out there. And then in the lineup, I hit 2-hole, so I just made sure when our leadoff Noah got on that I would bunt him around to get him into scoring position so Logan could hit him in, or even our cleanup Hunter hit him in if we needed him to.
What was it like playing at that ballpark? Is that the biggest ballpark you've played in this year?
Yeah, it's pretty close to the biggest. I've played at a few in travel ball, a few big ones, but that was by far the nicest one that we've played at. And it's just a nice view of everything and huge crowds.
Again, Tanner, hey, congratulations on the state championship and for being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you.
You bet. I believe Noah Remensnyder is next. And Noah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Tell us a little bit about, you get to throw the state title game. Tell us about what you're doing to kind of get prepared mentally and physically going against Maysville.
I really just had to control the nerves because it's the biggest game everyone on our team had ever played. And I was, of course, nervous going into it, just thinking about how we were 27-0 going into it, and how much all of us worked for it and how much we all wanted to win. So I just had to stay calm and just trust all my pitches and trust the pitches coach was calling and just trust the defense I had behind me.
Now, did you go the distance in this game?
Yeah, I threw the whole game.
What was it like to get that last out?
Oh, it was awesome. It felt great. Just everything, all the hard work that we've all put in, finally coming all together, and it's just an awesome feeling.
Yeah. Now, where did you play in the first game?
I played second base.
Second base.
Yeah.
So what was it like the next day and since then? I mean, does the food taste better? Does the Coca-Cola taste better now that you've got that state championship?
Yeah, just about everything's better. I mean, I've been riding high since that day, so everything's just better.
What was now, Noah, you're a senior?
No, I'm going into my senior year.
Going into your senior year? Outstanding. What was the town's response when you guys rolled back into town?
Oh, it was awesome. Everyone was there. A few people had their shirts off. Everyone was going nuts. It was a cool feeling.
Yeah. Now, are you guys out of school?
Yeah, we're out of school.
So that's the only thing that's bad. It's always good when you're state champion to go back and walk the halls the next day at school.
Yeah, that would have been a good feeling. It would have been nice if we had like one day to go back, but
Yeah. Very good. Well, Noah, congratulations.
thanks, I appreciate it.
And then Logan Seal, and did you catch both games?
Yes, I did.
Now I'm gonna mention, and I think it was your team. Did you throw a ball down to second base between innings that went right over your second baseman's head? Then he didn't see it, didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, it was pretty loud there. I don't think they heard me. I looked up and the ball was going right by his head.
Yeah, it was, and that was Noah, wasn't it?
That was Hunter Piggott.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about your role. You're behind the plate. Obviously, you're calling the pitches, maybe getting some of them from the dugout, or maybe getting all of them from the dugout. But tell us kind of how you get prepared for a game, mentally and physically.
Mentally, I just try not to think about it too much. I have a lot of trust in my pitchers and Coach Kyle Blankenship. Physically, we just hit in the cage. Me and Noah always make sure to hit in the cage first, stretch our arms out real good, and get warmed up.
What was it like playing in that facility? I know you got to go down to Marucci Clubhouse, maybe get a few swings in there as well, but what was it like to play in Ozark, Missouri at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex?
It was pretty cool. It was one of the better stadiums I've ever played in. Everything just felt so much cooler. The ball felt like it was moving faster and everything.
Very good, very good. Now, let's talk a little bit about hitting. When you're standing in the on deck circle, what's going through your mind? What are you trying to key in on a pitcher?
I'm just trying to key up his arm slot and get mentally prepared to get in the box and try to have an approach.
What's it been like for you? Where were you when the last out was made? Was it a strikeout? Did you catch it? Who has the baseball?
I had the baseball. I threw it over the dugout. I'm not sure where that thing went.
All right. Well, what's it been like since you got back in town?
It's been pretty cool. I'm starting to realize that I'll never play a baseball game again. It's been kind of sad, but we were still riding on the high, still talking every day.
So you're a senior. So what plans do you have for next year?
Monday I start work at the fort. I'll be working for KOUSA. That's about all I have planned.
All right. Very good. Well, Logan, hey, congratulations on being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you.
And then Brady Blankenship is alongside. Brady, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us about your roles and responsibility on this team in this Final Four and state championship run.
My role was playing first. Never try to let a ball get by me. And I tried, focused real hard, and stayed mentally prepared.
What grade are you, Brady?
Senior.
What's it been like to be on this run as a senior, knowing you're going out the door as a state champion?
It's been great. It's one of the best feelings ever. One heck of a way to go out. Never going to do it with any other team.
If you could get in a time machine and go back to that 11 or 12-year-old Brady Blankenship and give yourself some advice based on what you know right now, what would you go back and tell yourself when you were in that 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
I'd go back and tell myself to slow it down and really take your time and look back and see how it is and really practice on playing baseball. Really play more baseball, what I really did.
How special was it to have your dad on the field when you won the state championship?
It was a great memory. Never forget it. It's one of the best feelings ever to do it with your dad, even though I played with him ever since I was in kindergarten and all the way up to high school. It was a pretty cool thing to happen.
Who was, when you get to your cell phone, who was the first person to text you?
My my aunts, my uncles, just everybody that was not there, mainly that watched it on TV.
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing, there couldn't have been many people not there, because I think Iberia had more fans than anybody else the day I was there.
Yeah, it was a great crowd. It was one of the best feelings to walk out and look up in the crowd and see everything green.
All right. Well, Brady, what are your plans for next year?
My plans probably go into workforce, like go to Gaskell Sage Electric Company and do something like that.
Outstanding. Well, Brady, congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. Now we'll bring in the assistant coach. Here is Kyle Blankenship. And Kyle, how special was this for you? You've been coaching these kids since they were, knee-high to a coon dog.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's something that I dreamed of when we started coaching them. All the way through Little League, they were always top in their division, and I knew that they had talent and they had a chance to pull this off someday. And it's been a dream come true.
Well, who was the first person you heard from when you got back to your cell phone?
I don't even remember. I had so many text messages. I looked at my phone. I don't even remember what the first one was. Everything was just kind of a blur right after the game.
Well, outstanding. Well, how many more of these kids that you've had in Little League are still around? I know there's a couple juniors maybe in that room.
Yeah, mostly I had this senior class, the grade I coached. We kept the same grade all the way through, and it was, the juniors were on a different team. We would play them every other year, but I knew with that group of juniors and this group of seniors, when we put them all together, it was going to be something special.
Outstanding. So which one of these guys was at the bottom of the dog pile after the game?
I think maybe Noah was at the bottom of it.
Very good. Well, Coach Blankenship, to you as well, congratulations. And I know this had to be an exciting run for you and your family.
Oh, yes, it was. It was just, all the support that the family's given us, and it's been amazing. Like Brady said, when we got there and looked up in the stands, you see all the family, and the whole town was there. It was a great feeling.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, and Coach Vincent, I greatly appreciate you helping put this together here on the Missouri Sports Network as part of our Chevy Leaders of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I have one more question for everybody in the room, because I am a mandated reporter, and you can just raise your hand. Do you always wear your seatbelts?
Yes. I do.
All right. Very good. Well, Coach, you can take a little bit of a break now. You got fall baseball coming up. What's your summer plans?
We'll play pretty informal here in town, and just kind of schedule some of the area teams come over here and play some games. Sometimes we play over at their place, but pretty informal. Just do some things to keep us in shape, keep us developing. But no, we just want to stick with it a little bit until July, and then we'll take a little break and come back first week of August, second week of August, and get ready to gear up for our fall season.
Outstanding. Well, gentlemen, again, congratulations on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You bet. As always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
Your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience.
And I want to thank you from Allen Hilliard Sports and myself, Allen Hilliard, for watching today and listening, however you're taking in this content here. And remember to support those local kids, local schools, local businesses that help make everything happen. we hope to see you live during some of our broadcasts.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head.